Welcome back. Are you feeling like you're losing sales because you're just disorganized? Well, you're in the right place because today our Sales Doc Call is all about how to build a system for your business to keep the sales really organized.
Hi, Amy. I'm Rachel from California. I just have a question about my sales system. I feel like I'm super disorganized right now, and I don't think approached it the right way. So I'm just wondering, how do I make a successful system for my business?
Yeah, that's a great question, Rachel. Thank you for asking. I know systems is not normally like the sexy thing we want to talk about in business, but I remember before I had my sales system in place, I just felt like everything was a mess. Like I was making notes in notebooks or writing in Google Drive and, pieces of paper, and then I couldn't remember who I was supposed to call and when, and it was just kind of a hot mess. So getting your sales system organized and built is really going to be important. So let's talk about three things here. First, I'm going to actually define what is a system. What are the pieces of your sales system that you should have? How do you build it? Where should you store it? And then this concept as well will apply to any type of system you need to build in your business. So let's jump right in. So let's start at the very basics. What is a system? Because a lot of times people confuse a system and a software, which you said, I feel like maybe I set it up wrong. That makes me think that you're creating a synonym between system and software. The software is where you house the system, but the system starts long before the software. So the system is the process. It's anything that you can do over and over and over and over again that you can run multiple people or multiple things through, and the system will hold up. I recommend that you think through and create the system and then pick the software that supports it. Otherwise, people find themselves in software that they're like, I don't even know how to use it. It's confusing. It's overwhelming. I only use a fraction of what it can do. And it's like you just have more than you need. So let's look at the sales system specifically. There's 5 things that you need. So number 1 is you need your sales scripts. Your sales scripts are a critical part of your sales system because it needs to be duplicatable, that no matter who is talking to the person, the potential client, they're using the same process. No matter what potential client the same salesperson is talking to, they're using the same process. So it creates continuity. The second thing that you're going to do is you're going to define the lead stages. What is the journey that the client goes through on their process from being a new lead into closing? My lead stages look like this. First, we have a new lead. Then we have a contacting lead. That means we are proactively trying to get a hold of them. Then we have a set lead, meaning we've scheduled a sales appointment. Then after that, they can move to reschedule, which means they didn't show up or they need to reschedule. Either they no-showed or said, I need to reschedule. Then after that, we have on hold, which means they said, not now, but maybe in a few months. Or we have lost, which means they were a no. Or we have closed, which means they said, yes, we closed the deal, yay. Or we have pending, which means they have said, yeah, I really want to do this, but they're still working out the details. So that's the lead stages. That's the journey that the client goes through. The next thing that we need to put together is the standard operating procedures. What happens in each of those lead stages to move them to the next one? So for example, when a new lead comes in, our goal is to actually reach out to them within 15 minutes of when the new lead comes in. Are we perfect at it? No, but do we try? Yes. So we try to, as soon as a new lead comes in, we try to get a hold of them within 15 minutes and create that initial reach out, that initial attempt to get them to move forward to the next phase of scheduling an appointment. If we don't reach them, they move into contacting. What we're going to do in contacting is we're going to try to reach them over the course of about 3 weeks. This part, you guys, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but actually I don't hate it because I'd rather you just know and be able to do it right than continue to struggle and not be able to understand why. It takes a lot of attempts to reach people. When people say, oh yeah, I call my leads 2 or 3 times, I'm like, yeah, you need to call them like 4 to 6 times. That's just the way it goes. It takes a lot of attempts before you can get people on the phone. So you need to call deeper than you want to. So that's the contacting phase. We have it really dialed down for like when we send emails, what the emails say, what we say in a voicemail, like that process is all documented. Then when somebody is scheduled, we have our process for that. So they're going to get a reminder text. They're going to get a video. Like I make them a video that says, hey, I'm so excited that you're scheduled with my team. Here's what you can expect. They're going to get some testimonials that will be sent to them to just prepare them for that experience. Once they move into pending, now they're going to get some case studies so they can say like, hey, so glad you're considering working with us. Here's what we've done with some of our other clients. So no matter the phase they're in, there's going to be standard operating procedures. Even in Lost, the standard operating procedure is don't engage with them unless they re-engage with us. Like that's our procedure. So we want to build that out so that we know what should be happening next. Next thing that we're going to look at is tracking. What are the benchmarks that we want to track? Some systems are really good at tracking the client, but they're really bad at tracking the salesperson. So you need to know what metrics you're looking for. I like to track number of calls made. I like to track how people move from one lead stage to the next. I like to track our closing ratio. I love tracking our hold ratio. Like that's an essential number for me. I need to know our hold ratio because it makes a huge effect on our bottom line. So I want to make sure I know what I want to track so that I can choose a system that actually has the ability to track those things. Next is reporting. How am I going to get reports in a way that like it looks usable to me? I don't want to get some report that I look at and I'm like, I don't even know what this means. Is this even reporting on what I want? So I need to know what reports are important for me to get. Then I can go out and I can look for the system that I can build all of this into. Because now I know how I want my clients to move through my pipe drive. I know what I want to happen through my pipeline. And now I can find the right system to actually support that activity. So this sounds a lot more complicated than it is. You can actually get all of this put together in about 20 hours. Now, I know that's a big project, but think about it. What if you were to dedicate 1 week to getting all of this written out, structured, set up, programmed into a software, and then you never have to worry about leads falling through the cracks again? It's pretty awesome. Okay, so some questions to ask yourself as you're trying to figure out what system should I be using. Number one, do they have automation so it can do some of these things on its own? Once you have it all built, now the next step is we want it to happen automatically. So I love that in my sales system, I can just drag someone from one lead stage to the next. And when they get dropped in the new lead stage, it automatically sends the email that gives them the testimonials. Or it automatically sends the email that says, hey, we missed you at your appointment today. Would you like to reschedule? Here's the link. Like, I just love that it has that process already built in. So it makes my job and my sales team's job that much easier. Okay, number two, and this one's so important. Is it going to be easy to follow for you and for your sales team? We switched sales systems this year, and I had been with my former sales system for like 8 years before that. And the reason why we switched was because it was hard for people to use it. So even though they had all the features that we needed, my team could not consistently use it. So my reports were not effective. And it just, the whole thing wasn't really working. And it wasn't because of the system. It was because the users didn't like using the system. The last thing that I would look for, is it easy to follow? Like, you definitely want something that's really user-friendly, because a lot of times your salespeople are people. They're not process systems people. So I want something that's kind of intuitive, that is designed for a salesperson. Now, what types of programs do I like? I like the ones that are created for salespeople. So a lot of the CRMs that have like sales system capabilities built in, they're not created for salespeople. They're created by marketers, and then they just throw in this little extra sales stuff. I love the systems that were created with salespeople in mind to move the way that they want to move, keep it really simple, keep it really intuitive. So I know some of you are probably being like, well, Amy, what system do you use? So I use Pipedrive, and I love the reports. I love that it's really easy to use. This video is not sponsored by Pipedrive, but hey, Pipedrive, if you want to give me a little ring-a-ding, maybe we can do something in the future. It's just what I use. It works well for my team. All right, Rachel, I hope that this is helpful for you and all those who are struggling with this similar disorder in their sales system. This process that I talked through, you could use this for any system. You could use it with marketing, you could use it with leadership, but just going through and figuring out what are the things that need to be done, what are the steps that need to happen, what are standard operating procedures, and then how are you going to build some automation around it. You can do this over and over and over again. So now that you know how to make a system for your business, the next video that I want you to watch is how to acquire customers without a marketing budget, because man, that's gold. If you can master your organic lead generation and be able to get leads for free, you will always be in business. So make sure you go check out that video. You can click it now, watch, enjoy, learn, and I'll see you back soon.